Hey guys, and welcome back to PXH, also known as PureXHeart. Chris here, as usual, back again with another album review. And guys, before we get started, make sure you guys hit down that like button onto this video, and also comment down below what you guys want me to review, and also what you guys want me to talk about, whether it be music, movies, topics. And if you guys want some more of those topics, then go check out on the PureXHeart Podcast. More on that a little bit later, as usual, within these videos that I have been advertising with PureXHeart Podcast, just because it is part of us. And also, if you guys like what we do here and you haven't yet subscribed, then what are you guys doing? Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out this channel. Nothing else, let's get into it. Hashtag Choose to Live is the latest release from Manchester's own. And this is also part of a campaign that this band actually has been doing ever since January, Amongst Wolves. Now, Amongst Wolves is a really cool band. They are a 4-piece pop rock band, obviously from Manchester, UK. But what really makes them actually really cool is that they have a heart to engage with those who feel on the edge of society, and achieve this by going into high schools, prisons, and local communities and talking about their Christian faith and how it's impacted their lives. And they feel passionate to talk about the stigmatized topic of mental health, which is basically what this huge album hashtag Choose to Live is all about. Because on January 15th of this year, 2021, the band released the track Voices, which I will get to all the tracks just a little bit later. But Voices is an anti-suicide song with a real gut-punching set of lyrics, according to the band, on their bio for their Spotify, just because that was one of the easiest places to actually find some information. The song Voices is a part of their hashtag Choose to Live campaign, and obviously it's on here on this album, which is a social media movement encouraging people to share messages of hope and support those who are experiencing struggles with suicidal thoughts. And so to start off the bat, this album kind of hit me in different ways. I'm a person that actually struggles with a lot of mental health issues. I have anxiety problems. I sometimes have depression issues. So actually seeing that there's actually a band out there that is actually, you get a lot of bands that is out there within like other medias of the world that actually does some really cool stuff like this. Remedy Drive, I reviewed them earlier in the year about where they're just has this trilogy of albums about sex trafficking and fighting against that. And PXH is totally against sex trafficking. And you have now Amongst Wolves, and yes, a lot of people actually have done like suicide albums, to fight against that and to fight against suicide, just because of the effects that it has, not only onto the person, but also onto just a little bit of everyone else. This is me not trying to say that if you have a problem, no, trust me, as someone that actually does deal with that, those thoughts sometimes, those depression thoughts, just because it's sometimes just there. It's like within one of the main song from this album, Voices, it's just a voice just inside your head. But luckily, thanks be to God, obviously, able to find that hope and that will to actually finally live in God, which is so amazing that Amongst Us Wolves is actually doing something that, as a teenager, I really struggled with this. I'm getting teary-eyed, as you guys can see. Maybe if you guys can see that they're actually using this platform as a way to reach out to people that are struggling, to let people know that, hey, you are not alone. And it's really, really cool just doing it in a social media way, just because, you know, social media surrounds all of us and everyone gets on it. And people sometimes deal with cyberbullying. Sometimes people just deal with bullying just in their life. And sometimes it's not even bullying. Sometimes it's just thoughts just in our own head. And we're just like, and we don't know what is there. We always just think that something's wrong with us, just because some people may have said that, you know, something was wrong with you, you know, you shouldn't really think those thoughts. But once ever you deal with that, you don't really know where to go. So I'm really, really thankful if Amongst Us Wolves is actually watching this video, which would be really, really cool if they are. Then from the bottom of PXH, we really, really thank you guys for actually having an album like this, and for actually using your guys' faith to reach people that are actually dealing with this, and saying, hey, there's a hope out there that loves you dearly. And another thing, like I said, I deal with a lot of anxiety. One of the songs that is actually on here, it's not really a song, it's a spoken word that is called I Am Anxious. And, you know, like I said, you know, dealing with anxiety, like the YouTube thing, for example, it sometimes gets me anxiety. That's why I sometimes mess up words. I get anxiety about words for some reason. I don't really know. Also very introverted in that aspect. So my anxiety goes off with that. So hearing a spoken word about I am anxious, it's like, yes, this is so true. I have dealt with all of this. Where it's just like, I don't know why I'm anxious, why I'm feeling like this, and then, you know, just picking up the pieces, you know, maybe I can actually do it by myself, but you fail. And I love that so much, where it's just like, hey, I can't do this by myself. I can't do it. And the person says, but I found God. And that person then goes on to say, I'm butchering this spoken word, because you guys need to really need to listen to the spoken word, just because it is really, 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 really impactful. This whole album is actually really, really impactful. I love also the music quality of this, the rock pop. I think it's really, really cool. The only thing I do have to say is that I wish it would have gone a little bit heavier in some of the rock aspects within some of these songs, just because it just lent itself just a little bit for a more heaviness. But if they're more focusing on the lyrics, then I'm okay with that. The lyrics, you know, basically, if you have dealt with stuff like this, then you'll be able to find something that you can relate to, either one song or multiple songs, which I think that's the reason why they actually did some of these lyrics that way, making it simple enough yet effective enough to be able to say, look, we deal with this, and some of us deal with it a little bit more in deeper ways, and so it's nice to have a little bit of inclusion for everyone. And again, it's really this, you know, honestly, whatever grade I give this album, it's meaningless compared to the message that they're actually trying to provide within this album, which is, in my opinion, the important aspect for this album as well, why I'm actually really talking about this album rather than say a different album. Just because, again, it's a very, very important subject that I feel like that sometimes in the Christian faith we don't really know of how to talk to it in any avenue, and we don't know of how to express ourselves in that situation. And we've always been told to not. Some of us have been told to not even think that way, but if it's something that we deal with, then why aren't we talking about it? If it's something that's just on, you know, I know people are afraid, but come on, like, let's be, you know, what Christ wants us to be, and actually, like, you know, be like Christ in that aspects, okay? If But let's be like Christ in the aspect where we care for one another. I really don't know how much to say. I really also do like the last song, which is called Golden, which has a more upbeat vibe to this entire album, just because, I mean, there's a lot of uplifting messages about this album, but the last song, it just felt like very, very much praise in that avenue. The other ones were a rock type of Christian rock. This is what this is. This is Christian rock, okay? Christian pop rock. Sound-wise, it's very hard to distinguish a sound for them. I don't really have a particular way. There's part of me that wants to say that it's kind of like Nine Lashes, just within the music quality. The voices are kind of a little bit tricky, but you could probably actually find someone like it. Just whatever you think is pop rock in that avenue. Anyway, I actually really enjoyed this album. Honestly, you guys should just get this album. It is really, really good. It is really, really impactful. There may be a few issues here and there, but that's not really the point. The point is what this message of this album is portraying, which is a really, really good message that I think that if you guys actually deal with mental health, you guys deal with anxiety, if you guys deal with depression, whatever you guys may deal with, I don't really know. God knows, and God is there. He is there for you. So there's that. Nothing else, if you guys would leave a like onto this video and also comment down below what you guys thought about this album. This was actually really, really important, impactful album, at least in my life and hopefully in your guys' life. And honestly, you guys should check out more Amongst Wolves. They're actually a really, really good band. Support them. They are really, really enjoyable. I like them. This is just my first album that I listened to, and I really, really like them. I went back to some of their older stuff. It's actually pretty, really, really good. They're a really new band, and they deserve all the love, in my opinion. Especially if you like a little bit of pop rock. It's kind of cool. But also, guys, comment down below what you guys also want me to review, whether it be music, movies, topics. And for more topics, if you guys like it more of an audio format, then obviously check out the PureXHeart Podcast. It's really enjoyable. I enjoy it. My co-host Jesse enjoys it, and other people actually that we've actually talked to really enjoy the podcast. So it's a really, really good podcast. I don't know what you guys are doing. Just go ahead and check out our podcast if you have not checked out that podcast. And speaking of not checking out something, you guys have not hit that subscribe button, then hit that subscribe button. It really, really helps out this channel. And also hit that notify bell. It really helps out this channel so you guys can be notified for new videos whenever they get released here on the channel. But anyway, go along with Jesus and change the culture. Boom. Bye.